Well, here we are. It is the final evening of our hunt. Except we're not hunting. Yeah, but Amy is. And so we just went and quick checked trail cameras.
Yep.
On some of the stands. You've got some future clients coming.
Next week, yep.
Yep. So getting things all squared away with them. This was just an awesome, basically friends hunt together.
Yep.
Something that's really special is, I know when Doug and I hunted, with BearTrack, between bear hunting and deer hunting in Manitoba, we just bonded right away, right?
Yep, absolutely.
It was wonderful that it kind of kicked off with Doug meeting you at the Hunt Time Expo in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it just kind of friendship grew from there.
Blossomed from there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we had such a terrific time, and I've had that with going with some other guides too, very accommodating, build a friendship type of thing. But with you guys, it was different.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, it's obvious that you guys have a great work ethic, and just the amount of opportunity that we had was something I know I never experienced before, and I don't think you have either, Doug.
No.
Have you? But then that mixed with, I mean, we're just so doggone much alike.
Yeah.
As far as like-mindedness of, the hunting, but even just sitting around a bonfire, kind of thing. Just different things like that. It's just like meshes well. Tell us a little bit about BearTrack.
What would you like to know?
Tell us about the owners of BearTrack, and what's the outlook for next season?
Yeah, so me and my wife own it, and along with our kids, they seem to think they're owners too, which is fine. Yeah. We like that family aspect, that family feel, and then we have a couple guides that have been with us for a while that are fantastic. The outlook for next year for Bear is it's going to be a great year. You're going to be busy. Spring is full. I couldn't squeeze another hunter in if I wanted to. But fall is it's going to be a busier fall than normal, and then we have quite a few bookings for 24 already.
Wow.
Yeah, that's about half full. So just already trying to start to mentally prepare.
Yeah.
For the days to come.
Yeah.
The days are long, but the weeks are short. And as soon as we're done with the season, I'm already looking forward to the next one. I just love being up there, and I love meeting people, and like you said, the relationships you form, and ours is different. Like I form relationships with all my clients, but we seem to really hit it off, and we hang out. Like I don't hang out with my other clients like this. So that's the part of the job that I really enjoy, is the people you get to meet, and killing a bear is fun, but to me that's the cherry on top.
Yeah. What's your client base generally represented? I think I remember you saying you got quite a few Michigan.
A lot of Michigan. Yeah, a lot of Michigan. Which I'll take. Yeah. They've all been fantastic. We get quite a few from Pennsylvania, which is kind of odd, but I'm not complaining. But majority of our clientele is from the Midwest. That's yeah, Michigan, and I would say Iowa are probably the states we get the most from. But
you have quite a few bears that are harvested that have a color phase to them, don't we?
Yeah, we have about 30-40% color phase in our bears. Last fall we had, and it varies year to year, right? Some years you might see more, some years you might just see less, but on average it's about 30 to 40%. Last year we had a ton of color phase that were taken, and thankfully they're big color phase. Right? A lot of times guys see, cinnamon, bang, and it's 150 pounds. You're like, right? That's a boo boo. So,
Yep.
but
Yep.
no, they're nice, big, mature color phase. So that's always fun. And we had a guy shoot one, and I hadn't seen that bear on camera at all.
Okay.
And go to pick him up in the evening. He's, I shot a color phase. It's like, really? Try not to act too surprised. And yeah, nice 320 pound cinnamon.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. The other color phase we've had him on camera for a while, and so I knew those were there.
Now you get quite a few repeat customers, don't you?
I would say, well, this spring we had 100% rebook, which we've never had. Usually, I would say for sure 80-85% repeat.
Yeah.
Which I live, like I was telling you the other day, I think on the way out to the stand, that I love hunting. I love it almost more than anything. But I was telling you, I think I like guiding more, just because I love the process, and I love first-time bear hunters. So with a repeat, you don't get that, but on the flip side, you get that relationship, right? It's like, oh, so-and-so's coming next week. I can't wait to see him again and meet him again. And, you've been texting or calling all throughout the year. Now you get to see each other in camp. But yeah, we get a lot of repeats, and I have to thank my guides for that as well, because they're fantastic. It's not just me.
Yeah, I think it's fun, well, on both sides, but from the hunter's perspective, when they harvest their game, they have that high moment, like, this is my first.
Yep.
Anybody that's there that was actually there at the moment, right, present for, even if it's a retrieval, that is a memory or a bond that's formed.
Yep.
That's what I love about hunting. Those memories and those high moments like that. Celebrating with somebody else, it's just it's bonding.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We had a guy. Yeah, it is. We had a guy this spring. One of my guides was guiding him, and he shot a bear, and they couldn't find it. So I went with him in the morning, and we ended up finding the bear. And we're walking up. It had rained overnight, so there's no blood trail, so we're just kind of gritting. And we're walking one way, and I was like, man, just you get a sense of where bears go when they're hurt, right? So, like, man, I just have a feeling. I think he probably would have went this way. So I just kind of veered off from the two and started walking, and sure enough, there he laid. So I don't want to be the first one, right? It's his first bear, especially.
Yep.
So I just kind of stopped right there, and I was like, found him. So they come meet up with me, and he literally breaks down. Like he just falls to his knees, and he's sobbing and sobbing and sobbing. And I was like, okay, I appreciate when someone has that respect. Yeah. But then he tells the story that his cousin was his best friend, and they always hunted big game together, and his cousin passed away, and this is the first big game hunt he's been without him, right? And so to be a part of that and share that, and for him to allow me to share that with him, that's something I'll never forget.
Yeah.
All right, and it was a beautiful bear. It wasn't a giant by any means, but it was a beautiful bear. Yep. But just the fact of what that meant to him personally, and then there's one point when he's on his knees there, and me and my guide kind of look at each other and we're like, ooh, somebody must be cutting onions around here, right?
I'm not crying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it touched us too, right? And so yeah, that's something I'll never forget.
Sure. Now I assume if somebody's interested in a hunt, they would reach out to you through your website or email.
Yeah, BearTrackOutfitters12@gmail.com, or just through our website, BearTrack Outfitters. CK. There's a TRAK in Ontario.
Yep, make sure it's in Manitoba when
Yep.
you're looking at it. And do you encourage people to ask a lot of questions? I think some guides, don't mind others. Kind of,
For me, I don't mind in the slightest. I have some guys basically, hey, what weeks do you have available? I'll send them the weeks, they send me the deposit, and I don't hear from them again. They're good. Others, I'll get 2-3 emails a week. I'll get phone calls. It doesn't bother me any way, shape, or form. I always try to put myself in their shoes. For a lot of people, this is a big thing, right? It's a lot of money for some people, and to go to another country that they may or may not have ever been, to an outfitter who, because let's be honest, there's some outfitters that just want your money, right?
Yep.
And anybody can make their outfit look good on social media or on a website, and then you get there and it's not what you thought, right? So I try to put myself in their shoes, and just like, if I'm spending this money going to a foreign country to an outfitter I don't know, I'm gonna ask some questions. And so whatever I can do to excuse me, whatever I can do to give them peace of mind, to just kind of help them out and just say, hey, like, no matter the question, if you big, small, if you think it's a smart, stupid question, ask it.
Even questions about overcoming, if you're not used to going across the border.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know all those things.
Oh yeah. I've dealt with it for 18 years now, and
so if any of that stuff's holding somebody back, feel free to fire your question.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of fears of coming across the border, especially if you're a gun hunter. It's so easy. There's just a bit of paperwork to do, but it's nothing to fear.
Yeah. So one of the many things that's a great quality of Brandon is he likes to talk about bear. If you could leave us with about 5 fun facts about black bear that maybe you've learned through your years of guiding, stuff that bears do, and that kind of thing, that maybe the average black bear first time hunter or even a seasoned hunter might not know.
Fun facts. I have some facts.
What do they do during the rut? The boars, are they like whitetails?
No, they're I find they don't get as careless. A big boar won't be as careless, I find, as a big buck will be. Why that is, I'm not entirely sure. So what you'll see is you'll have, like, mid-June is the rut, second week into mid-June is when the bears rut, and their gestation is 7 months. And so you'll see when a boar is chasing skirts, the sow will rip right through your bait sight, and he'll put the brakes on and he'll go around. Like, he will not.
Oh.
So you'll get the odd young boar that'll just blinders on, he'll chase and he'll follow. Yeah. But a mature boar,
which is 25 years old,
it can be, yeah. And so that was another thing I was going to mention. In my opinion, and I think I've shared this with you before. Granted, it varies, but I believe killing mature boar is harder than killing a mature buck. Not that either of them are easy, but a bear's nose blows the whitetails out of the water. A mature whitetail, 5.5 years old, where a mature bear can be in his mid to upper 20s, right? So he's seen everything, smelled everything, and given the fact that their core, a boar's core area is so big, and they can cover that distance in no time. So we've had bears on camera, a big boar, one day, and we've had baits, 15, 16 miles down the trail. Next day he's on that bear, right? Like, they can move so effortlessly. One thing to hunters, I always try to tell them, I think it's a fun fact. But given that a bear is so big and they look cumbersome, but they're not. They're incredibly agile. But I tell hunters when you're in a stand, just until you see that bear, try not to move. Try not to, right? The first time you see that bear, I always tell him he's had you pegged for a long time. He knows you're there, he just does not care. Once he comes to the bait and he commits to the barrel, you can almost do anything. And
Really?
yeah, you can almost
Do the hula dance up there.
yeah,
or whatever.
I've had it before where I was like, oh man, my wife's gonna be mad, I gotta be home for this, or we gotta go to this, so I gotta get in the stand, but there's a bear in the bait. And I get up, I'm like, hey, 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 I'm throwing water bottles. They don't move, they don't do nothing. They do not care. So, and so what I tell hunters is, another reason I tell you to be still is you will not hear them coming. You will not hear it. And it's almost like, you know, there's
Unless you're Doug.
yeah, unless you're supersonic hearing back there. But like it's a lot of hunters I think do, but some I can tell it's almost like they don't believe me. I had a hunter one year not believe me, and he's sitting at a bait. Actually, the bait Amy killed hers on. He's sitting there and there's nothing. He stands up, stretches, rubs his eyes, bang, bear in the bait. He killed that bear. It's over 500 pounds. But he's like, it just appeared. He's like, I didn't hear it, nothing. And a lot of times, like, and why I think they don't believe me is they come back and they're like, I never even heard him coming. It's like, well, yeah, I told you that, but right?
You don't remember that part, do you?
Yeah, yeah. And so in the rut, you know, one thing I always like to look for is, golly, excuse me, is you'll find, at least in our area, there's a lot of spruce or pine trees, whatever you call them, the 8 to 10 foot range. And what a bear will do is he'll kind of walk over it and he'll straddle it, and he'll just walk the hole. So he'll just bend that tree and he'll walk, and the glands, and he'll just kind of secrete on the top as he walks over. Right, it's like similar to what a buck with a rub, like, and so a sow will pick up on that, and that's an indicator. Another one is out of aggression. They'll snap trees. They'll just bust trees in half, or they'll get up and they'll rub, and you know, they'll turn and they'll bite. And so if you see that and it look like a vice grip pinch the tree, if you see that, that's also a good indicator of how big that bear is, right? You kind of gauge. So it's a few things to look for.
What is the height of what you consider a big bear?
A big bear, you're starting at, I'd say, around 6 feet. We've had some close to 8, 7 something feet.
Wow.
That's a big bear.
That's a really big bear.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking some time and talking bear hunting with us.
Oh.
Well, we're heading out to be getting Amy in probably another hour here.
Yeah, hour and a bit. Yeah. Well, you know me, I'll talk bears anytime.
Yeah. Right on. I know Doug and I had a blast with you.
Heck yeah.
As far as the whole hunt memories things, we've killed a lot of deer together, and it's been awesome creating those memories. Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Brandon.
My pleasure.
Appreciate your wonderful invitation to come hang out with you and Kara this week and do some hunting together.
Yeah.
Fun.
I've been looking forward to it ever since we penciled in, and
Yeah.
can't wait.